published 7:30 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 7th of May 2018, updated 10:07 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 7th of May 2018. Jurgen Klopp might have given a sarcastic answer to a question about Ousmane Dembele on Sunday, but news that Barcelona are debating whether to stick a twist with the record-breaking signing is not without foundation. Klopp raised his eyebrows, broadened his grin and asked, "Is he on the market?" Now I'm interested, but the fact that just 24 hours after Klopp was being asked, Dembele spent another 90 minutes sat on the Barcelona bench was a reminder of how his first season has been staggeringly underwhelming for a player who remains the second most expensive in Barcelona's history. Ousmane Dembele may not be on the market yet, but Barcelona could cut the losses with him. The former Borussia Dortmund forward has spent much of the season as a spectator. Dembele suffered an injury on his third appearance and has taken time to find his feet again. Dembele can't get in the team, or even on the pitch as an impact substitute, something that commentators have found even more puzzling considering his greatest asset is his pace and direct running. When Barcelona were going out of the Champions League in Rome, he was also a seated spectator, barely warming up. And he suffered the same fate on Sunday night, although coach Ernesto Valverde was conditioned by having seen his team go down to 10 men. The fear for Dembele is that if he is struggling to make the team this season, he will find it even more difficult next September, when Antoine Griezmann will almost certainly have joined the club. That will create the kind of closed-shop front three with Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi that Neymar did before he left. He is rarely used, even as an impact substitute, which is a surprise given the forward's pace. The arrival of Antoine Griezmann in the summer could further diminish his opportunities. Barcelona want to give the 20-year-old France winger another season. But they also know if he spends that season on the bench, his price will only travel in one direction. What they also want to avoid is losing face. Their ability to spend the Neymar money wisely was called into question long before they started looking at possible replacements last summer. Dembele seemed a viable target. Real Madrid wanted to sign him after all. Barcelona had looked at him a season earlier, but for €20 million, £17.5 million, not over €100 million. The move went badly right from his undignified departure from Dortmund. The weeks of speculation about his imminent move to Spain wrecked his pre-season. Barcelona know if Dembele spends another season on the bench, his value will only go down. There was a mini-strike as he tried to force the German club's hand in selling him. When he turned up in Barcelona on August 28, he looked mentally exhausted and perhaps also physically underprepared. It was not completely surprising when he soon picked up an injury. At first it looked like a hamstring tear when he pulled up in a game against Getafe in September, but there was tendon damage too and he had to miss 3 months. He had played very little football in the Barcelona shirt, with just one assist for Luis Suarez to his name, and he was already back on the sidelines. While he was out, alarm bells rang that, bored at home, he would take refuge in his friends and lose his way slightly, binging on fast food. This has not been the season that Dembele would have hoped for at his Barcelona unveiling. Those alarm bells sounded even more loudly when he requested a barbecue for his garden, and the concerned club designated him a private chef to ensure his diet was as good as it would have been had he been eating every day at the Joan Gamper training ground. He did not take well to the club's big brother approach, and the chef was soon sent packing. He did at least make the concession of hiring his own chef. When he came back from that injury, the anxiety still seemed to be there, and he suffered a relapse with 3 more weeks out. His second comeback has been injury-free, but in his return as a substitute against Getafe, he managed to give the ball away 13 times in 27 minutes, unforgivable for any Barcelona player, especially one who cost so much. He has shown glimpses of what he can deliver, but has spent too long on the sidelines. Has shown glimpses of what he might deliver since then, and Barcelona are hoping that a proper pre-season with him this summer will make for a very different year. The arrival of his French teammate Antoine Griezmann might also help, but not if Griezmann joins the Messi-Suarez clique and Dembele remains on the sidelines. Valverde's lack of faith in the player appears striking. While he remains the coach, Dembele knows he will need to make huge gains between now and the start of next season if he is to make a Barcelona future for himself. Liverpool are intent on keeping Mohamed Salah, and if they do, they will not have the funds for a player who Barcelona paid an original £95 million, rising to £135 million last summer. But if other clubs test Barcelona's resolve, cutting the losses might not be ruled out without much consideration.